Hello everyone, this is a quick recap of what we did in class today. So for the purpose of this video, I'm using period 6, but this would be true regardless of the period you are in. So if you look down at the bottom of cycle 14, there is an assignment called argument structure. That is what we did in class today. So you want to open up that Google Doc, and you will see there are a couple of different parts. So argument structure is important for this unit because it's what we're going to be looking at in all the texts that we read. And it is also what you're going to need to follow when you write Embedded Assessment 2, which is your argument essay. So this may be the first time that you have come across argument structure. I'm going to give you some definitions of the different elements, and then some examples of how they are used. So if you see here, this list under the headline, the structure of an argument, are the different parts of an argument that you are going to be asked to identify. The first one is the hook, which works the same way that the hook did in the introduction paragraphs we wrote for our definition essay, in that it grabs the reader's attention. It might be something like an anecdote, an image, a definition, or a quotation. And in an argument essay, it also establishes a connection between reader and writer and might provide some background information about what the argument is about. So up here next to our graphic little angry man, the hook is highlighted in blue, just like it is down here. The hook here is athletes are not important. So that is a shocking statement meant to grab the reader's attention. The next element is an arguable thesis, which is very much like a thesis statement in our essay, that clearly states the writer's claim and appears in the introduction. So up here in our example, the second sentence that is highlighted in red is our arguable thesis. They do not deserve to be paid large amounts of money to play a child's game. So this person is arguing that athletes do not deserve the amount of money they make. The next element that we have here are concessions and rebuttals. This is something that is new when we're considering writing the argument essay as compared to the definition essay. A concession or rebuttal is where you recognize the arguments made by the other side. So if this person is talking about athletes not deserving as much money as they make, that means that they need to consider that there are many people who might disagree and say that athletes do deserve the money that they make. So in order to build your credibility, you need to acknowledge that there is a counter argument, and you need to argue against it. So you say like, okay, there's another side. That side might have some good points, but still my viewpoint is better. So up here in our example, this is highlighted in orange. Athletes may affect our society by being inspiring. But for a long time, universities have chosen to give scholarships to people who can throw a ball rather than other important professions. So the concession is, this person is saying, okay, you might say correctly that athletes are inspiring. However, that is not a reason to give them scholarships instead of people who could do something better with that money. Then we have support. Support is all of your reasoning and all of your evidence. So depending on what you're arguing, this could be data. In our case, for our argument essay, it will be quotes from the text that we read in class. It could be anecdotes from your life, and it appeals to people's logic, emotion, or ethics. So up here we have that in yellow. The amount athletes get paid could close the doors to someone who could cure a disease in the future. In both cases, they are jobs that, although in the end they have their difficulties, they will never deserve to be paid more than a doctor, firefighter, police officer, or teacher. So this person is supporting their argument by saying that people with these professions are contributing something to society that athletes do not, and therefore athletes do not deserve the money, these other people do. Lastly, we have the convincing conclusion. It is a restatement of the thesis. It is a new appeal to the values of the reader, and it usually asks that reader to do something, to take an action step. So up here it's highlighted in purple. When people realize that, the world will change for the better. So the action step here is you need to agree with this person's argument, and that will cause positive change in the world. So the next step is to look at this student example and do what you can to highlight hook, thesis, support, and concession. So look in there, do your best to find those 4 elements and highlight them in the corresponding colors. Next, you're going to watch this clip from the movie Dead Poets Society. And in that clip, you will do the same thing. You'll be looking for hook, thesis, support, counterclaim, and convincing conclusion. Then lastly, you are looking at this short essay, and again, trying to identify those 5 elements of an argument by highlighting them in the correct color. Once you have done that, you will turn in this document to me on Classroom, and you are done for the day.